Histin News Daily is your go-to podcast for a daily dose of history. Each episode dives into significant events, births, and deaths that occurred on this day in history. From pivotal moments in world history to intriguing anecdotes about famous figures, we bring the past to life in an engaging and informative format. I'm Chris Bernard. Stay informed and entertained with new episodes released every day, keeping you connected to history regularly. March 16th is a date rich with historical events spanning various fields such as politics, science, the arts, and sports. Here are 15 detailed events that occurred on this day throughout history, designed to enlighten and educate. 1521 Magellan reaches the Philippines. Ferdinand Magellan, the Portuguese explorer sailing for Spain, reached the Philippines, marking the first European contact with the islands. His arrival opened up new trade routes and began a period of Spanish colonization. 1621 Samoset Walks into Plymouth Colony Samoset, a Monhegan from Maine territory, walked into the settlement of Plymouth Colony and greeted the Pilgrims in English, surprising them. He played a crucial role in the initial relationship between the Native Americans and the Pilgrims. 1802 Establishment of the United States Military Academy. The United States Military Academy at West Point was established by an act of Congress, aimed at eliminating the nation's shortage of engineers. It became the first military academy in the U.S. 1912 Lawrence Oates self-sacrificed during Robert Falcon Scott's ill-fated Antarctic expedition. British Army officer Lawrence Oates walked out into a blizzard to his death, hoping to increase his comrades' chances of survival. His last words were reportedly, "I am just going outside and maybe some time." 1926 Robert Goddard launches the first liquid-fueled rocket. An American engineer and physicist, Robert H. Goddard, successfully launched the world's first liquid-fueled rocket in Auburn, Massachusetts. This event marked a significant milestone in the development of rocket technology. 1935 Adolf Hitler orders German reparations to end. Hitler violated the Treaty of Versailles by ordering the cessation of all reparation payments imposed on Germany after World War I. This act was part of his aggressive policy of rearmament. 1968 My Lai massacre. American troops killed hundreds of civilians in the Vietnamese village of My Lai, in one of the most controversial and tragic events of the Vietnam War. The incident significantly impacted public perception of the war. 1978 Italian Prime Minister Aldo Moro kidnapped. Aldo Moro, a former Prime Minister of Italy, was kidnapped by the Red Brigades, a far-left terrorist organization. He was later murdered after 55 days in captivity. 1984 William Buckley, the CIA station chief in Beirut, was kidnapped. Buckley was kidnapped by the Islamic Jihad organization. His abduction marked the beginning of a series of kidnappings of Westerners in Beirut during the Lebanese Civil War. 1988 Halabja chemical attack. The Iraqi Air Force attacked the Kurdish town of Halabja with chemical weapons, killing thousands of people. This was one of the largest chemical weapons attacks against a civilian population in history. 1995 Mississippi ratifies the 13th Amendment. Mississippi formally ratified the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which abolished slavery. The ratification was largely symbolic, as it came over 130 years after the amendment was nationally adopted. 2003 Rachel Corrie's death. American activist Rachel Corrie died in the Gaza Strip after being crushed by an Israel Defense Forces bulldozer while protesting against the demolition of Palestinian homes. 2005 Israel officially hands Jericho to Palestinian control. In a move towards peace, Israel returned control of Jericho to the Palestinian Authority, marking a step forward in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict resolution efforts. 2014 Crimea votes to join Russia. In a controversial referendum, Crimea voted to secede from Ukraine and join Russia. This event led to international sanctions against Russia and increased tensions between Russia and the West. 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. Many countries go into lockdown as the COVID-19 pandemic spread globally. Numerous countries, including the United States, announced lockdowns and emergency measures to combat the virus, marking a significant moment in recent history. These events reflect the diverse tapestry of human history, encompassing exploration, innovation, conflict, and the ongoing struggle for freedom and justice. Uncover lesser-known facts and intriguing anecdotes about historical events and figures that may surprise and inspire you. By engaging with history on a daily basis, you'll develop a stronger connection to the world and its rich tapestry of events and personalities. You can find Histin News Daily on popular podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Subscribe today to start your journey through history, one day at a time. I'm Chris Bernard. Thank you for listening to our Daily Today in History podcast. Remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on YouTube for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and discussions about history's impact on our world today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow and find out more today in history.